variable. That's why it will throw an error. If you try to do so, the compiler error will be shown. Okay, so can this keyword be used to refer static member? Yes, it is possible to use this keyword to refer a static member, because this is just a reference variable which refers to current class object. Okay, so as we know that it is unnecessary to access static variable through objects, therefore it is not the best practice to use this to refer static members. So in this example, as we can see, there is a class named test and we have a static member name I equals to 10 value, and we have a constructor, and we basically refer this static member, okay. So in main method we create an object and call this test constructor, and inside this test constructor we refer static member. So output is 10, but it is not the best practice to use this to refer static member. Okay, so we can use and to refer static member by using this keyword. Okay, so what are the advantages of passing this into a method instead of a current class object itself? So if we are trying to pass this into a method instead of a current class, so what are the advantages? So as we know that this refers to the current class object, therefore it must be similar to current class object. So there can be two main advantages. First is this is a final variable. Okay, because it always refers to current class object, so this is always a final variable. Therefore this cannot be assigned to any new value, because its value and its reference is fixed. So that's why it is called final variable, and it cannot be assigned to any new value, whereas a current class object might not be final, but current class object might not be final and can be changed. So this can be used in the synchronized block. Okay, and this we can pass this into a method instead of a current class object itself. Okay, so why is multiple inheritance not supported? We already discussed about why multiple inheritance, and already discussed about what is the actual problem and purpose. So let's take an example. So we have a class A and class B and class C. So child class C trying to extend both classes A and B, and we can say we have a class C which have two parent classes A and B. Okay, so in main method we create an object, okay, and call the constructor C, default constructor, but we are trying to call this message method. Now which message method would be invoked? Because this same signature method, message method, is mentioned in both class and B. So there is a confusion. Since the compile time error are better than runtime error, Java renders compile time error if you inherit two classes. So whether you have the same method or different, there will be a compile time error. Okay, that's why Java does not support multiple inheritance in. Okay, I hope you understood. So we already discussed about what is aggregation and aggregation and composition. So aggregation relationship we already discussed. Aggregation is best described as a relationship. Okay, and composition we already discussed about composition and with example. Okay, so we also discussed about super keyword. So let's take an look at the example. So we have a class name animal, and we also have a class named dog, child class. This is a parent class, this is a child class, and extend this animal class. So there is a parent child relationship, and inside this dog class we have a method named dog, in which we are trying to print this statement dog is created, and in this main class we have a object D and call this dog method, dog constructor. So first output is animal is created and then dog is created, because inside this dog class, the class dog extends animal. If we use super, is called the class constructor implicitly by the compiler if there is no super or this. Okay, so implicitly called super keyword, and first parent class statement will print animal is created, then dog class print will string. Okay, I hope you understood. So we already discussed about what are the main uses of super keywords. So super can be used to refer to the immediate parent class and call the immediate parent class method, and to call immediate parent class constructor. So what is the difference between this and super keyword? So super keyword always point to the parent class, whereas this always point to current class. So we already discussed about this and super in our previous slide. Okay, so can you use this and super both in a constructor? No, because this and super must be the first statement in the class. If we use this, so we need to use this statement in our class as a first statement and also for super. So we can't use both this and super in the class, both in our class constructor. As we can see in this example, we have a class named test and we have a constructor test, and we trying to use both super and this. And then we have a statement, printing statement, test class objects created. In main method, when we create an object and call this constructor, and it will throw an error. Call to this must be first statement constructor, because this in this program is the second statement. Okay, that's why it will throw an error. Why is method overloading not possible by changing the return type? We already discussed about method overloading. We can implement method overloading by changing number of argument and by changing the number of type of data type of argument. But why we can't use method overloading and it is not possible by changing the return type? So in Java, method overloading is not possible by changing the return type of the program due to avoid the ambiguity and confusion. Because let's take the look at this example. So we have a class name adder, and we have a add method, static and add method, and we have two arguments, int a and int b, and return a plus b. And in second method, double add, we have int a int b and return this a plus b value. So in this main class, when we trying to compile and when we trying to call this add method and pass this value 11, so there is a confusion. Compiler will be confused and will be a ambiguity occur, because when we pass this value, so there will be a confusion and there will be a ambiguity, because by changing the return type of a argument, we can't apply method overloading, because in this method also we have two members, a and b, and in this method also we have two members, a and b. So we by changing the return type in Java, we can't use and we can't apply method overloading, because it will throw an error. And as you can see, method add int is already defined in the class adder, so there is ambiguity and there will be a confusion if you trying to use and trying to compile the program you are trying to use and changing the return type in Java and trying to implement method overloading. Okay, that's why we can't implement method overloading by changing the return type of a Java. Okay, so next is, can we overload the method by making them static? So no, we cannot overload the method by just applying the static keyword to them. Okay, so let's take a look at this example. We have a class name animal and we have a method named consume. Okay, and also a static method named consume. Okay, both method name is same. So we are trying to basically overload these both method. First is non-static method and second is static method. So in our main method, first we create an object. Okay, and then we call this method. Okay, we call this method name consume and pass value 10, and then again call this method consume and pass value 2. But in this we give the reference to by using this object, and in this we give the reference by using this animal class. Okay, so output is, it will throw an error, method consume int. Method consume int is already defined in class animal static void consume. Okay, so non-static method consume int cannot be referenced from a static constant. Basically we are trying to give the reference and non-static method reference to a static constant. So if you are trying to give the reference of non-static method to a static constant, so it will throw an error. Okay, because this consume method is of type static, and this of type non-static. So you are trying to give the reference of this non-static method by using this static constant. Okay, that's why it will throw an error. So can we overload the main method? Yes, we can have any number of main method in a Java program by using method overloading. Okay, so rules for method overloading, we already discussed. The method must have the same name in the parent class, and method must overriding. Rules for method overriding, so method must have the same name in the parent class and method must have the same signature, and we have a easy relationship, child parent relationship between them. Okay, can we override the static method? No, you can't override the static method because they are the part of a class, not the object. Okay, can we override the private methods? No, we cannot override the private method because the scope of a private method, we already discussed, is limited to a class and we cannot access them outside of the class. Okay, Why can we not override static method? So it is because the static method is a part of a class we already discussed, and it is bound within the class, where the instance method is bound within the object, and static gets memory in class area and instance get memory in a heap. That's why we we can't apply override static method. Okay, so what is covariant return type? This question is also very important. So since Java 5, it is possible to override any method by changing the return type if the return type of a subclass overriding method is a subclass type. So it is known as covariant type. The covariant return type specifies that the return type may vary in the same direction as the subclass. So let's take a look at this example. So we have a class name A and also have a method, okay, get method, okay, which basically return this current instance value, and we have a child class named B which extend this A class parent class, and also have a method, this get method, and this also return this current class instance, this current method instance. So we have a message method, void method, and printing statement is welcome to covariant return type, and we have a main method, and we basically trying to call this class constructor and with this get method and this message method. So output is welcome to covariant return type. Okay, we have a different return type. Okay, in this method we have a return type of this current instance, okay, and in this method we have a return type, and we can say we have not any return type. We basically print this statement. So we have not any return type in this method, so this is basically a covariant return type. So it is possible to override any method by changing the return type since Java 5, if the return type of subclass overriding method is a subclass type. Okay, if both method are in this both subclass. Okay, so we can override this method. Okay, what is the final variable? We already discussed about final variable is used to restrict the user from updating it. If we initialize final variable, we can't change this value. We can say final variable once assigned to a value can never be changed. So let's take a look at this example. We have a class named bike9, and we have a variable which is final, speed limit equals to 90, final variable, and we have a method named run, and speed limit equals to 400 in this method. So whenever we create an object and call this bike9 constructor, bike9 default constructor, and call this run method, so it will throw an error because we declare this method we already declared this variable as final, and in this method we are trying to modify the value of this final variable, so we can't change the value of the final variable. That's why it will throw in compile time error. Okay, so what is the final method? If we change any method to a final method, we can't override it. So we have a class bike class, and we have a method run method which is final, and we also have a class child class which is Honda. Okay, so in run method, okay, we have a printing statement running safely with 100 km/h, and in final void run method we have a printing statement running. So whenever we trying to call and invoke this method, first we create an object named Honda and call this Honda class constructor, child class constructor, and call this run method. So it will throw an error, okay, because we can't override it. Okay, so and we trying to override these both method, both have same name in child class and parent class. So what is the final class? If we make any class final, we can't inherit it any of the subclasses. So in this example, as you can see, it will throw an error. We have a parent class bike, and we have a child class this Honda one. We have the and parent class is final, so we can't inherit it, and we are trying to extend and inherit this parent class, so we can't inherit it to any of the subclasses. That's why it will throw an error. So can we declare a constructor as final? So constructor can never be declared as final because it is never inherited. Okay, we already discussed about in our previous slide. So it will throw an error. What is the difference between final method and abstract method? So main difference between the final and abstract is that the abstract method cannot be final, as we need to override them in the subclass to give its definition. Okay, so abstract method cannot be final. Okay, so can we declare an interface as final? No, we cannot declare an interface as final because the interface must be implemented. We need to give the implementation of the interface